Feels like we're on like Howard Stern or something with that.
Right.
I'm loving it. All right. Well, hey, everybody. Welcome to the inaugural, the first edition of the 49 Volts podcast. And my name is Josh. Pretty excited to be here and hope you are too. So we're recording here in the evening. We got a little nighttime background here for me. And we have the logo of a really, really awesome project that our friend here, Dominic Cornell, is putting together. So pretty excited to talk about that. So Dominic, give everybody just a quick shout. Let everybody know who you are, what you do.
Hey guys. Yeah, my name's Dominic. I am launching a new security podcast, or not podcast, security community.
You can do that too, man. I'll help you.
Yeah. Working on a security community online, trying to get people, a lot of people are tired of LinkedIn and how they are charging for everything, and you got ads and bots and everything. So my vision is to create, one place that helps support each other with training, mentorships, everything.
And the social aspect of it too. I mean, we got a lot of, feeds and streams and chats. We got different rooms where everybody can chat. Really appreciate, being one of the early access folks. And we've actually been having a lot of fun in there, the last day or two. As some of the other early folks are coming in. So these are some of the more interesting people, so I think this is going to be a really cool thing. And, I'm really excited that you're doing it, and I really appreciate it. But I think the point of today was, we're debuting a new podcast, for a new company that I just started. And here we have like a really, just a brand new, not even launched yet, social, kind of a group, a community for the security industry, which I think is amazing. So I think you're going to actually give the audience like a little bit of a preview of what this looks like. So
yeah, I'd love to.
Go right ahead.
All right. So right now we're just looking at the main homepage. We got the Deadbolt Society, admin moderators. Hopefully there'll be more moderators as things go on. Our community is a place for security professionals looking to connect with peers who share their passion for innovation and industry excellence. Through networking opportunities and collaboration, can cultivate supportive relationships and exchange cutting-edge ideas to drive advancements in the security field. Join us to be a part of a vibrant community dedicated to pushing the boundaries of security technology and practices.
Love it.
I'll let you know right now, AI wrote that. So
I love it. I did well. But look at that. Like, this thing doesn't launch for a few more weeks. You got 8 people in there already. That's great.
I know. Look at it. Very popular. Let me go ahead and close out of here. So this takes you to the main feed. We got some cool cats in there already posting and commenting. We got Bear from Security Today podcast. Not sure if I should be announcing his podcast on your podcast, but
oh no, we love Bear. Bear. No, please.
And then we got, so this is the main feed where everybody can post or see everything that you follow on the main feed. Then you have a discovery section here, if it loads. So you got your welcome checklist for when you first start. You got your top posts, members near you, top members, featured. These are sections or posts or events that I want to feature on the page. I'm featuring Security Today podcast, and I'm featuring our Deadbolt Society pre-launch huddle Zoom call. When you guys, main members, start joining, go ahead and get on this new member mixer. That way everybody can get in there and learn about the community, and we can kind of do a similar talk through of the space. And then you got top spaces. So this is kind of just a summary of the whole community right here. If you don't want to be scrolling down through feed after feed, it can get, a lot after a while. Then you have this events page here. This shows all events through the whole community. And we just kind of went over that a little bit. We got the pre-launch huddle and then the new member mixers. So I'm really excited for that. We're going to start getting people in for Q&As, and we're going to start getting product demos for manufacturers. So this events page will fill up pretty quick. When everybody first joins, you're going to automatically be added to the discussion space and the job board space. The community is built into spaces that you can see on the left-hand side here. And so you'll have access to this first discussion space. This is basically where you would go and post, typical content that you want everybody to see.
This is our LinkedIn feed, right?
Yeah, this is your LinkedIn feed.
Josh does his dad jokes, and Vinny shows bad insta. There he is. He's doing one right there.
Yep, there it is. Hashtag CCTV fail. And then this will also show up in your main feed up here. But this is where you would post if you wanted to post something. And you can also see all the members that are in this space, events coming up from this space. And there's also a chat. Yeah. If you just wanted a quick, hey, what's up, guys? Or, hey, I got a quick question. Can somebody help me out? You can do that there if you didn't want to make a whole post. So that's pretty cool flexibility. Then we got the job board that we are hoping to fill out.
This is great. So, I mean, what's your hope here? Is this for somebody that is looking for a job? Is this somebody that's looking to hire? I mean, is it just kind of both?
Yeah, both. So if you're looking to hire, go ahead and feel free to add a post on here, link it to your website or whatever, or your job posting. And then if you're looking for work, obviously go here, scroll through, see what they got. I hope this takes off to help, help each other out. And then you have some more community spaces here. Got end users, integrators, consultants, manufacturers is what I have built out so far. So when you guys first log in and let's say you're an end user, you would come in here, you'd press join, and then you'd be taken to this, and I put in the icebreaker question in there.
I like it.
And so each section has an icebreaker. That way it starts the conversations between people.
You've got everything but security marketing room.
Oh,
just because there's only like one of me.
Yeah, I gotta add one of those, but I got you further down the list.
No, that's great. I love it.
And then we got the security or industry leaders. Right now I have Security Today podcast. He's got his own space in there.
Yeah.
We got his discovery feed, which is similar to the discover feed up above. It's just a summary.
You mentioned Bear's podcast earlier and how much I love Bear and what he does. I'm in there twice. There's 2 Josh Bowmans in the group already. I mean, this thing's not even launched. Let me tell you, Bear wishes he could get rid of at least one of me. I'm sure. I'm always following him around and getting on his nerves. But he's great. Yeah.
And then same thing, principles as up above. You got your main feed, so you can post. If the main host allows it, you can post here. Or he just has his posts and he wants you to answer his questions. What's your favorite security podcast? Simple questions, and just get to know Bear and what he does. The real ones is what he's naming for the members. Chit Chat is he got his own private chat for direct chat with Bear, and then any events that he wants to do as well. So each space can have the whole community inside of it, and so that's really cool to be able to build it out like that, and that's why I was really excited to use this platform.
No, I love it. So
yeah.
No, I was gonna say, so you mean you're actually getting right into it now, but we've also got the manufacturer, in other spaces down here. Mm-hmm. Proud to occupy 2 of these early spots.
I know.
And I know I have a little work to do. Bear's beating me. He's already getting his area built out.
Yeah, he's got his color coded and everything. Yeah.
Just to help people visualize here. I mean, so you've already got, you've got Brevo in there. You got Cumulex, which is my day job. I'm director of marketing over at Cumulex, and also my new venture here in the podcast you're watching, Bowman Vision Media. So, we're going to have the same kind of layout in there, where we can kind of create some chats and some feeds and so forth here. In these spaces as well. So, I mean, this will be building out as well. And so I think what's really cool that you're building is, it's not just like one big, LinkedIn scroll that we're in here. I mean, if you look at like, I think of this also as like incorporating, aspects of LinkedIn, with that chat feed, but also you've got kind of like your Facebook group or Reddit threads in here, where you can kind of come in here and focus on, building a community with like products that you maybe work with as an integrator. You've also got, individual areas for integrators only. So they don't have people like me in there, trying to sell them cloud stuff. Like they can go in there and talk amongst themselves.
Yeah.
I mean, I feel like you're kind of taking, the best of all these different social media and different, apps that we all like to use, and like giving everybody a place where we can kind of come here and have all of that together.
Absolutely. Yeah. That's the goal. A collaborative space that you can choose if you want to follow somebody, and have that. The biggest vision is just to have that tighter community between the end user, the integrator, and the manufacturer, as far as getting product updates and trainings. And I think there's a lot of things that just get posted out there that just disappear through your feed. I can't count the amount of times where I see a post on my LinkedIn and think, oh, cool. And then I go back later and I can't find it anywhere. So, you got to take screenshots or whatever, because, your feed refreshes so fast. But here, you can save posts. You got a lot of options here. You can share posts. You can, hide the space if you're tired of getting your, notifications filled up. You can hide and mute spaces. You got chat here, all the messages you got going on. And then my favorite part, invite somebody to come to the community.
Yes. And I unwittingly invited a friend early, and you still let him in. So thank you.
Totally fine. Yep.
That would be my friend, co-pilot and co-host on my other podcast, Aaron Newman. So Aaron's already in here as well, but this is great. And I mean, I think that also for any of my competitors or fellow manufacturers that I work with that maybe are watching this, I mean, as you can see, I've already sponsored 2 spaces in here. So, I mean, I think this is really going to be a big thing for us. I think, we got to all work hard to kind of get the vibe going in the early going, but, I really think this is going to take off. I mean, this is something that I think everybody's been looking for, wishing that they had a place that's just for us, just for this industry. And as a manufacturer, I mean, where else are you going to have something like this where you can actually have your own room? I mean, it seems like you have control over your room, who you're inviting in there or allowing to join or not, so each manufacturer can kind of be their own moderator. It's your space. And like you said, you can offer, links to your videos, to your social feed. You can, host get-togethers. You can host training in here. I mean, I think that's just really appealing. So I do hope that other manufacturers jump on this real quick, because I think that will even further enrich the space. And I think it's a huge opportunity, because I don't think there's really any other type of community space like this that a manufacturer can really have a place for all their, customers and friends to come in and collaborate like this.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. And I'm not going to just allow any manufacturer, for the members out there that are just like, I don't want this drop down list to get, 20.
I'm glad you said that, because you let me in twice. So, I mean, there'll probably people think anybody gets in, but
yeah. No. Yeah. So, the reason I like you, Josh, and, you have 2 spaces is because you're making content like this. You're talking to the community, you're doing trainings, you got videos out there of all the things for Cumulex, and so that's what I like to see in the manufacturer, that I allow onto this space. It's somebody who's bringing quality content and not just wants to buy a space just to have their logo sitting there. That's not going to fly. You're going to have to you're going to have to participate in the community. So that's just so the other members know that, it's going to be curated content to make sure that they're getting the best. And I also want to put out that this is going to be a free platform
That's awesome.
for members. There will be a paid membership for additional features later down the road. But right now, we just want to build a community and get people in here and talking and inviting other people.
Yeah, and I know you're not ready to talk about what those additional features are, but I know we've talked about it, and I'm telling you, everybody out there is looking for that thing. So,
Yeah.
you know, if everybody gets in here, gets this thing kicked off and get it buzzing, I think we're all going to see something really, really cool that we've all been looking for. So that's all the teaser I'll give. But
No, yeah, that's pretty much the wrap of the website.
This is awesome. And I do apologize. I probably should have built my 2 spaces out before this.
That's all right.
I got busy and didn't think about the fact, but I mean, look what Bear did. I mean, that should give you an idea of, you know, what you're going to see in here. So, I mean, this is just going to be, I mean, listen, you go to LinkedIn, they give you kind of a limited scroll. And I don't actually hate LinkedIn myself. I actually really enjoy being on there, but
yeah,
you know, in the old days, it used to be you could just kind of scroll and scroll and scroll. And, you know, if you had a lot of connections, you'd see a lot of different content. You know, a lot of that stuff for those of us that deal with social media for a living, you know, it is kind of hemmed in, you know, to, you know, a certain range of people, even though you're connected to with the algorithm. But I mean, here you've got, you know, so many spaces that you're going to be able to come in and collaborate with others and see lots of awesome content. And, yeah, I just think this is just going to be really amazing. I mean, I'm really, truly excited about this. And
yeah, me too. So
I appreciate that you're doing it.
Yeah,
you know,
yeah, absolutely.
This is a lot of work, people. I'm setting up websites right now and doing all this. I mean, this is so much work. So thank you.
Yeah, no, I do it for the community, and I'm glad to do it. And I'm excited for the future and how we all can collaborate together. We launch on October. Oh my gosh.
That was a heck of a cameo. I like
Woo-hoo!
it.
All right, calm down over there.
All right. For all you out there, that was not my wife. You stop saying that, Aaron.
No, we're launching on August 24th. That's the big launch day.
So we're recording today on the 6th. So, you know, it's coming up soon. And it's just amazing to see the progress you've already put together here in the first couple of weeks. I mean, this is great.
Yep. I'm excited.
Well, good. So we'll take this down. So let me just ask you, I mean, obviously you're a busy guy. You have a day job. You're a low voltage consultant. Where'd you get the idea that you wanted to do this?
I think it was similar to, you know, I've been around, you know, client interactions for, you know, my whole security career. And I just always thought, man, is there just a better way? You know, all these clients that have, you know, let's say Cumulex as their system, their security system, and they probably have no idea that you have all these trainings, right? And so there's always like this disconnect of getting that content to the end user. And so I've always thought that was a hard point. You know, it would be cool thing that can like just put it all in one spot. And that's where this was born in my brain, you know, and yeah, I was just mostly it was client focused of, you know, let's get information out there to a place where, you know, the security directors can hop on, you know, follow the system that they use on here, be able to chat with them and ask questions and get that direct one-on-one, you know, better support.
So then that all makes sense to me. I mean, so how long have you been thinking about this? I mean, did you just think of this and just jumped right in, or is this something you've been thinking about for a while?
This has been my vision for a couple of years, actually. When it was really when I started this new position as a consultant, and, you know, getting deeper into that client relation of information. On the integrator side, it was, you know, we used a handful of manufacturers, you know, the big ones, you know, access control and the video, and that's all we knew. And I was, you know, an expert at it. But as a consultant, there's a lot of stuff out there that I have no clue about, that I want to know
Yeah.
about. And so
Yeah.
creating this space, getting to know Cumulex that I've never heard of until, a couple weeks ago. There's a lot of offerings out there that people don't know about. And so that really drove my, getting the, so it's been a couple year process and, trying to build somewhat of a community on LinkedIn, and then, okay, my goodness. And then getting the Deadbolt Society LinkedIn page, getting that going. So yeah, it's been a process, and I've had a couple, mentors help me along the way, and here we are. We're about to launch in a couple weeks.
I love it. So you've been a consultant now for a couple years, or how long have you been doing that?
Yep, I started as a designer with Exante 360. They brought me on to help with the security side of their outfit. They do all low voltage systems, and so within a year, I proved my worth and was promoted to consultant. It's same job, fancier title, but I feel like we're, even from the integrator side, we're all consultants, really, right?
Oh, no question. Yeah.
We're trying to, let the end user know what the best solution is. And obviously Cumulex is the best solution, right? I don't even know another system. So
I love you for saying that. I love you for saying that. We love it. We feel good about it. But, obviously, like you said, there's a lot of products out there. And,
yeah,
obviously as a consultant, that's really something, right? I mean, it's I guess when you first kind of realize how many products that are out there and how many new ones are coming online all the time. I mean, with your process as a consultant, do you feel that like customers, because I assume typically, you're there to support an end user, right?
Yep.
They have a project coming up, and, there's probably a renovation or a build, many aspects to that. And I assume you probably work with like AEC community, like an architect or engineer that's putting together a build or remodel will come to you and say, okay, here's the other systems involved that are low voltage. And you guys help them with that.
Yep.
I mean, so you're really representing more than anything the end user, right?
Mm-hmm.
So do they typically know what they want, which we kind of go through this as an integrator, right? But, is it typical that they come to you and say, hey, here's the kind of system that we're using already, and we want to, continue with that? Or do they usually say, hey, what are better options for me?
Yeah, no. So typically I would say 75% of the time they already have a system that they're using, and that they've been using, so they don't want to change it. And those are the easy jobs, right? So they already have what they use and what they like, and so that's easy to plug into a specification and a drawing set. The fun ones for me are the ones who say, what do you got?
Yeah.
And so then I go down the rabbit hole of, okay, so what are you looking for? Are you looking for cloud? Are you looking for on premises? And so that kind of really directs the conversation. Are you looking for ease of access? Are you looking for a good enterprise solution? Those are always fun, and that's how I end up finding new products out there that aren't the typical top three.
You run into a bunch of Josh videos and you're like, yeah, it might be a good product anyway. I can look past this guy. Maybe it's good.
Yeah, no,
so what are customers looking for? I mean, so that percentage of customers that says, hey, Dominic, we don't really know what we need, or, what's the latest and greatest? I mean, what is it that the end customer is saying, hey, I'm looking for this now?
Yeah, I would say a lot of people are looking for that cloud solution. I just recently worked with a project that, we tried pushing them because it was kind of a weird setup where an enterprise or on-prem solution would have worked better, but they really were dedicated to the cloud. So, I mean, that goes to show that that's really something that's important to people, and, IT firms specifically. and ease of access, I would say, is huge right now. I've had a couple projects now where they're like, hey, can this camera unlock this gate? I've seen this before. Can this camera open my gate with the license plate? And yeah. Cool technology. People want to see the ease of access. They don't want to be having to fumble around with a badge, and they just want to be able to pull up to a gate and it opens for them, and they want to be able to walk up to a door. And
so frictionless is big. I can use a gesture, or I can just be near it, and my NFC says, okay, I'm here, and opens the door. So they want to get away from that traditional key fob, fob or card, or that traditional stuff. So that makes a lot of sense. And I'm, you'll learn I'm a terrible salesperson. I'm just so objective. I mean, so I would think, because I've been a consultant before too, right? So I mean, if somebody just came to me, and by the way, I love if people want cloud, that's what we do. But at the same time, as a consultant, I would be saying, well, why? I mean, do you just want cloud because of the word cloud? Or, I mean, what are you wanting to get from it versus like a traditional solution? I mean, do you ever probe them on that, or understand, why they want cloud, or just because they perceive that it's like the newest and greatest?
Yeah, it's really the server space, and the having that one fail point removed from their rack is really what it is. And so I get it. Makes sense to me.
And automated updates and being able to connect all your sites pretty easily. I assume all those things. Yeah. But now I'm putting words in your mouth. No, I'm selling cloud. I didn't want to do that.
No, yeah. It's definitely, the new cloud solutions, the UI is a lot better than, some of the older stuff.
Sure. So all the cloud stuff, I mean, for the most part, we're all fairly new. Right. So, I mean, you're getting like a newer interface, you feel like, with a lot of these solutions.
Yep. And that's what the, the fancy buttons attracts people. So that's what they want. They want to be able to, pull it up on their phone and, answer a door, or add a badge from their phone, that again goes to that ease of access.
No, that makes total sense. So obviously, you're going to kind of help them with their design, help them with product selection if they want it. Otherwise, you're going to kind of help make sure that all the right things for their current brand are put in. And then you get involved with like helping with the RFP itself, handling the pre-bid conference and all of that. So, I mean, what do you think? I mean, do you think, because we always hear that, all the integrators are just so busy, they're having trouble finding people.
Yeah, that's huge.
So do you see like good quality responses right now, or, so I used to do that for a very large global company. We managed it like everywhere, right? Like other countries all around the world. And I don't know if I guess I could say it was Johnson & Johnson, right? So it's kind of like a managed services approach with what used to be a consulting company, and managed all that for them, which makes sense, right? They're so big. They have sites all over the world.
Yeah.
It's the hardest thing sometimes, getting people to respond, so are you seeing that everybody's still interested typically in these projects, and they're showing up and bidding, or has that been a challenge?
Yeah, no, it's actually been, there's a handful of integrators that I kind of go to. A lot of my work is, I'm in Texas, but a lot of my work is in, the West Coast, the Southern California area. I've been getting some more northern work, but I got a handful of integrators I like to go to, and they're they're all hungry for work. And it is a situation where they I come from the integrator side, so I know how hard it is to get a decent tech. That you can get somebody that can help pull wire well good, and then you can get somebody that can program well good, and what you need is both those together to make a decent tech. So those are hard to find.
No, I get it. So, I mean, what do you, when you go through the selection process, I mean, I assume typically price is probably the biggest motivator there, but like for the, integrators that you think are doing a good job and you kind of have in your favorite, I definitely want to invite you first list. I mean, what are you looking for? Because I mean, as you know, from being an integrator, That's something integrators always wonder, what's the consultant looking for? How do we impress them, with our capabilities so they feel good about us?
So yeah, it's funny. I mean, I have a use case, that, just happened with one of the projects where, I got 4 integrators that I'm bidding to, and, it comes down to price, right?
Mm-hmm.
The client wants to do it the cheapest way, but I'm offering the client, okay, here's the cheapest, but here's also, their credentials, right?
So like their certifications.
Yeah. So, they have these contractors have backgrounds of working with a certain system for a period of time, right? Successful projects that I don't have issues with, the submittal work or the RFIs and, the final commissioning. And so they're having that relationship with making sure that you're keeping the client and the consultant, happy, making sure the paperwork is sufficient, and that goes a long way. If I have to review a submittal 6 times, it's not, you're not on the top of my list anymore.
Yeah.
It's those that get it in the first or second try. They understand. That's the biggest thing, I guess, is they demonstrate that they understand the scope and what it takes to install the system correctly. And that's all I want. That's all the client wants. That's all I want.
Yeah.
But yeah, it comes down to price and, expressing that you understand the scope.
Yeah. So do you think enough people understand that, that there are some alternative career paths, once you're in the industry? Because we all know the guys that have been out there 20, 30 years still on a ladder. And I think probably some of them by choice, they really enjoy that. They don't want to sit behind a desk, or they don't want to deal with that stuff. Just leave me alone, let me work and do my thing. But, from my experience, I always had a lot of technicians saying, how can I get ahead? Like, how do I get to the chair you're sitting in, or how? And part of the challenge, of course, is that you really only have so many project managers. You only have so many ops managers and positions like that. So, do you, was being a consultant something that you thought about that whole time? Was it something you always thought you wanted to do, or was it a surprise?
It was funny. It's cool. When I first started in the security field, I was a project engineer. And so I never had the technician side of expertise, but, I kind of learned it on the way, right? And how things go. But as the project engineer to project manager, I would always have, consultants that would come down to my projects to inspect them, and, pulling readers off the wall and door contacts down, like really messing with our project. But it's for a reason. It's to make the client happy. But I always thought, man, that's cool to be the guy that comes down and make sure everything's installed right. And, that power. So yeah, it's funny. I never
you just confirmed a lot of assumptions from in the field, didn't you?
Yeah. I think I'm just realizing that about myself right now.
I like it. That's funny.
But yeah, so it's just been, something that's in the back of my mind. I never really pursued it. I was a project manager for most of my career, and then I got a random phone call from a consulting firm that I did work with. They said, we got a position open. That sounds good. I get to work from home, and I got to move to Texas where it's a little cheaper. And yeah, I think I like the job. I like the design side of things. I like figuring it out. Finding solutions for clients.
But that seems to be like a great career path. Like, if you've been in the field for a few years, and not everybody wants to keep doing that, or maybe some people like a variety or a change, or another direction to go. I always felt people who worked in the field, they know how everything comes together. Look what Bear's doing, right?
Yeah.
So the training that he offers and the expertise that he offers, that came from getting his hands on it and really doing it. And obviously there's a path where you can come in with a certain level of education, and you kind of have to work backwards, right? And you had to learn that stuff. But man, I just wonder if, a lot of these folks out there even think about a job like that. There's a lot of value there. So
absolutely. No, yeah. It's funny how you talk about the guy who's been in it for 20 years and still on the ladder, and has that's what he wants to do until he retires.
Yeah,
and I know
that's great.
like that. My dad is one of them. Even he's a fire alarm technician, service technician. He got into he knows everything you can know about fire alarms, and he can run a project. He was given that opportunity. He's like, nope, you know what? I just want to do my work and go home, and that's commendable. That's exactly what you want to do, and so that's what he's doing.
We need all the people that want to do this work that we can find. And I said, man, there's nothing wrong with somebody that just says, I like it out here. This is what I want to do. And, honestly, they, especially, if you're like in a supervisory role out there, like as a foreman or a lead, or, everybody's got a little different term depending on, the region you're in. But I mean, you are really the first one to get these young pups and train them and help them understand what the business is all about. And I think that's great, and I hope that there's another generation, coming up behind the folks like your father, that want to be out there. And, I just think it's important as well that you have other things that you can do too, and that there are other paths that you can take. And, there's sales, there's a lot of really good folks. I mean, if you listen to another really awesome podcast that Bear was actually just on, is the Security Guys.
I know Roger real good. We go way back.
Those are awesome guys. And, Everett, used to be in the field. I've listened to, I think, all of their episodes at this point. I think they're killing it. I love their podcast. But, Everett kind of was in the field, started off, some similarities there. I wasn't working cable TV, but I grew up in like a family business, electronics, AV, television repair, television sales. I mean, kind of working with a lot of coax, and he kind of transitioned and came out of the field. Now he's in sales. But I mean, I promise you, a guy like Everett, when he's talking to the customer, I mean, he's had his hands on it. He knows what it looks like.
Yeah. Yeah, it's huge. I think if I could do it all over again, I would start in the field. That is extremely great knowledge to have of how something's wired up, how it works, how it shouldn't be wired, how, what's the distance of the cable that I need to run, that kind of thing. That's invaluable knowledge. But yeah, it's the technician to the project manager to the operations manager. There's different even avenues within an integrator that you can go. I chose to go from project manager to consultant, and now community host. I'm not quitting my day job. This is my side gig. Little disclaimer to Exante, whoever's listening.
He's not going anywhere, Exante.
I'm not going anywhere.
He's very committed.
What I do.
He's very committed.
Yes.
No, I mean, this is good. I mean, this honestly should be a benefit to your employer. I mean, it should be a benefit to everybody in the industry, what you're doing. So, I mean, this is, again, I always appreciate, there are people that take the initiative, look at what Bear does, look at what Roger and Everett are doing with their podcast. A lot of really great people, many of which you've invited, to be those, influential people to help and get this started. I mean, it's just always inspiring to see so many different people really kind of taking the bull by the horns, as you say down there.
Yeah. Down here. Yeah, no, that's exactly it. That's what I want to be. This community is not come follow me. It's come follow us, come follow, the people who are already doing this content creation and trying to better the community and get the word out about how cool security work is. The last podcast the last security dojo that Bear did with, the bypass stuff was real cool.
That's not Bear back there. You've not kidnapped him. Right? Is he okay?
My cat is having some problems. Okay. But yeah, there goes again.
We have a cat, and cats are this way.
Yeah,
I don't have anything else I could say. I like the cats.
Perfect timing too.
It is. He's telling us to wrap it up.
Yeah.
Listen, this has been fun. Really excited. Whatever small part I can play, kind of helping you get this launched. and really excited to get to talk to you a little bit about what the life of a consultant is right now and what you're seeing out there. I mean, it's just, again, I think sometimes we forget there's all these different sides of the industry. You know, if you're an integrator, you're kind of always thinking the integrator is the industry. If you're a manufacturer, you know, I think too many times maybe we forget about the folks out there in the field and what they actually got to deal with.
Yeah.
You know, you're out there kind of dealing with everybody, really. I mean, the consultant is one of those aspects where you're really kind of touching every side of the industry.
I guess that kind of brings, you know, the Deadbolt Society is my vision, right? I'm already doing that as a consultant. Yeah.
Yeah. And hopefully we'll get everybody in the industry in here, and everybody will be in here talking. And if your customer wants to say, hey, what's out there? You know, who is there? I mean, you can say, come check out the site, because, you know, everybody's here. You know, I'm excited for it. So, you know, obviously it's going to launch on the 24th. You know, so I think all of us that are early in there, if you're watching this podcast, maybe you follow me or you follow this channel, you know, obviously we're going to give you information on how to sign up, but also they can follow the Deadbolt Society on LinkedIn, right? Yeah. So you have a LinkedIn page. So if you're following that, you get more details on how to sign up. And is it the 24th and then you're going to send out the open sign, or are you going to start sending out links ahead, or what should people be watching for?
No, yeah, I'm going to schedule one LinkedIn post, tag all you guys on it, say we're open and here's a link to join, and just let the floodgates open.
I love it. And everybody, please sign up. Please be there at the opening day. Mm-hmm. And, you know, if you're not, I think Vinny and Bear and all these, you know, great people are going to be so tired of all my dad jokes in the first 10 minutes. I mean, you gotta drown me out. I have 2 accounts on Double Trouble on day 1. So get in there and water me down. You don't want too much of me. My wife would tell you that immediately. All right. Well, listen, thanks so much for coming on.
Thanks for having me.
Excited about what you're doing, and feel like I've made a new friend. You know, really glad to get to know you over the last week or so. Mm-hmm. So we'll put a link to the LinkedIn page for Deadbolt there, and you know, if you need any low voltage consulting, check out my man here, Dominic Cornell at Exante. He'll take very, very good care of you, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks, Josh.
All right. So for everybody else, thanks so much for watching our first episode of 49 Volts Podcast. In fact, I had a consultant on here first to make sure I didn't get this wrong. You know, I'm all about low voltage, and I think that starts below 50 volts, right?
Yeah. Yep.
Oh, okay. Good. So I didn't actually check. I just want to make sure I remembered that correctly. So thanks so much, everybody, for watching the first episode. Please make sure, whatever platform you're seeing this on, you know, be sure to like it, subscribe, share it. You know, looking to have a lot of interesting people. You know, I kind of want to, in my own way, you know, try to benefit the community here with this podcast. So, all right. So thanks again to Dominic. Thanks again to all of you. And we'll see you next week with a new episode. Thank you.
Yeah.